weather station, News Talk 710 KURV. Let's talk about redistricting. Let's head up to Austin. And let's talk to Garrett Fulce, who is a writer and campaign strategist based in Houston. He has served in senior roles on statewide campaigns, including as deputy political director for the triumphant governor of the mighty Republic of Texas, Greg Abbott. And he's advised candidates at every level of the ballot. Garrett Fulce joins us now. And he has a piece in the Houston Chronicle, an op-ed, talking about how this walkout from the Democrats absolutely backfired. So it's like you're trying to play a board game with somebody, right? Whether it's chess or checkers or Monopoly or whatever, and the person just doesn't want to play with you, and they come back and they suddenly want to play, and any leverage or want for discussion or anything like that is out the window. But there were some unintended consequences that come along with all of this as well. So this. What was your reaction first off, and what is your take on all the events that have transpired since then?
Well, they made a fool of themselves, like on a national level, because they decided to, take their ball and leave and say we're not going to do our jobs. Well, Republicans stayed in Austin. They did their jobs. They, put out their arrest warrants. They won the PR battle. They had to come back home after 2 weeks. Their other battles have lasted far longer in the past when they've done this, and they're there today. They're locked in the chamber, and the House is going to pass the map in the next few minutes.
The Republicans. Well, let me. My co-host Davis Rankin. I know you wanted to ask a question about if there was anything good that came of this from the Democrat side, fundraising, anything like that.
Yeah, for the record, I thought it was a mistake. They should have just stayed put. But I read somewhere that a headline that they'd raised a bunch of money. I assume they mean nationally. So wouldn't that be good?
Well, the Democrat fundraising machine has always done well in Texas. How much money did Beto win or raise, or Wendy Davis, or whatever the case may be, and they still can't seem to do anything at the state level or in the congressional races. The money, while important in Texas politics, isn't the end-all be-all, and Republicans tend to raise a lot more. I haven't seen the numbers on the Republican side yet, but I can't imagine it'll be much of a difference than years past. But yeah, they made their press releases. They did their fundraising, but they were going to do that anyway. This is just the case they're using for it, but to this or whatever else they would have done in the past. So it's just this what they decided to do for this go around.
I think it's fair to say, and if you disagree, say so, that once the redistricting was brought up by the president, it was going to happen. So what should the Democrats have done? What should they have done besides leave?
They could have nominated somebody else for president and had a better shot so went to the White House. But besides that,
yeah, I agree with you. If it hadn't been for her, I'm not sure we'd have him. But anyway.
That's a whole other bit of analysis there. But they, absent that, no. The Republicans unified on this, and we have been fighting each other in the state legislature for years now. And right now, it's the most unified I've ever seen the Republicans. Well, not ever. I've seen the Republicans in a decade.
I was going to say they seem pretty united on everything but THC, but I think that's probably another discussion. I just wanted to mention to cut in with this from the Associated Press. The Texas House just gave their initial approval for the new map, so that needs to go to the state Senate and the governor's desk before they become official. Thoughts on that?
I think the Senate's scheduled to hear it tomorrow. I imagine they'll have it passed by the end of the week, and the governor will sign it as quickly as he deems necessary, but I assume very quickly. So it will move on to the rest of the items on the governor's call. I know the House is already scheduled to hear all the flood bills tomorrow on the House floor, so those should move quickly as well.
Garrett Fulce is a campaign strategist based in Houston, joining us on 710 KURV. David, did you have another question?
Well, is there you make your living in politics? Is there anything good for the Democratic Party in Texas that's come out of this?
Well, let me ask you.
In years past, there have been Wendy Davis is a national figure now because of a similar incident that happened in 20 13. Maybe someone like Tallarico, James Tallarico from, maybe his profile has been raised larger because of this. It's hard to tell now. There doesn't seem to be that one person, their nucleus they're rallying around this go around.
Yeah.
Maybe they got some more action more quickly out of California to change their maps in concert with Texas changing their maps. But that if that domino falls, I suspect more Republican dominoes will fall, and there's more Republican states that can change than Democrats. So I think ultimately Republicans will be the victors in all this.
There seems to be a really big power vacuum within the Democrat Party right now, and everybody seems to be fighting to get a leg up over each other. It was what's his name? Gene Wu, I think, was pinned as the ringleader for the walkout. Do you think that he's going to gain any momentum off of this, or do you think he's just going to fade off into obscurity once again? Because I didn't know who the guy was until the governor had mentioned him.
Well, he is the minority leader in the Texas House, so he's already the person who leads the Democrat caucus there in the Texas House. He has always been kind of just a bomb thrower on social media, but doesn't do the greatest on camera or on microphone. So I don't expect his profile to rise much more than it already has, just because I don't think he has that connection at the grassroots level or even on the kind of national level to make any steps further.
Well, that's well, I got a lot of questions, but we don't have any. I don't think we have any time for. No, my co-host is laughing at me.
I was asking you if you had a question. I wasn't telling you to get out.
I do, and it went right out of my head. I'm sorry. So do you run campaigns or advise on campaigns?
I advise on campaigns. I've not gone into the actual running them myself. I've always worked on for much larger campaigns or for larger organizations to help the communications or the political side of things, which is like the door knocking and coalition building.
What if we did this?
Let me pick your brain here for a second.
All right.
On the Paxton Cornyn race, right? I'm not telling you to pick a side. I'm not telling you to pick a side. I'm not asking for that. But what do you think each campaign needs to do in order to get a leg up?
Well, that's a great question. So I've been very publicly anti-Paxton since the whistleblowers. So it's hard for me to think too much in his.
Say that again. Your phone cut out. I'm sorry.
I backed the impeachment efforts of Paxton. So I had an op-ed about a year and a half ago, on that effort. So it's hard for me to put myself in the mindset of what he would need to do to win. Let me think about this. Let me start with Cornyn and see if I can think of anything with Paxton along the way. Cornyn needs to keep driving positives about him and keep driving negatives about Paxton. The polling seems to have equalized, where they're kind of neck and neck right now, but it's really, really early to see that. So it's really going to be a game of reminding people why they voted for him in the first place, defining himself, and also doing his best to define Ken Paxton. Right now, Ken Paxton seems to be reacting to Cornyn. So if he were to get on his front foot a little bit and start actually, defining himself more than what anyone else did, then he might have better success. He's right now just relying on folks being like, you know me, you like me, and people kind of do that. But whenever you have the full weight of the negative ads that are on their way against them, it's going to be difficult for that to hold.
I feel like people are kind of excited. Oh, it's the shiny new toy. Paxton is running. Okay, and then slowly it'll set in a bunch of stuff that's going to come out of his closet and kind of ruin it along the way. Because, like you said, we still got a lot of time.
Is there more to come out of his closet?
I think there's a lot of stuff that's out of the closet that people have just forgotten about, and they're going to be reminded about.
That's the more accurate way of putting it. Hey, Garrett, thanks a lot for joining.